Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kayla Joshua, and I am a financial services mentor. And what I do is I help my community learn how to make 100K in 90 days. And I specify specifically in those who are small business owners who make under 500K. And tonight, I wanted to grace you guys with my personal mentor's presence. Her name is Mrs. Sherry Summers Bell, and she is here tonight to drop some tips, some tools, some jewels on how I was able to get to where I am and help you guys as well. So, needless to say, Miss Sherry, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself and let them know how great you are, because I really can't do it any justice.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Sherry Summer Bell. Kayla, thank you for having me.
Yes.
I am told that this is a live training that you do every week, and it's an honor for you to be helping small businesses using your framework. I'm excited to talk about the business, how you can show up with confidence on camera to attract five-star clients. I'm super excited. If you're super excited, give me a one in the chat just to make sure that you are here and you're ready to go. Kayla, I am so excited for you to have me tonight.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. If don't nobody know, you know. I was not going live. I hate going live. And I said, what can I do to get the confidence that I need to be able to share the wealth and the knowledge that I have with my community? Because I post a lot, but I
Hmm.
didn't know what's that extra step. What's that that I need to be able
Yeah.
to make sure everyone else has the same ability to share this, take in this information.
You know, it's funny you say that. And she just jumped it right in. And for those of you who don't know who I am, I started my business inside the space of growing my business using Facebook, using social media, going live, using an iPhone 6. So I started up in the space as a former law enforcement officer and in the sheriff office. I left my job when my son Dylan got sick and I needed to change career. And how that happened after he got sick, I had to say goodbye to law enforcement and started helping helping myself and people using the power of social media. So how did I do that? What you're saying, Kayla, to me is what we don't realize as small business owner right now. Video creation is not going anywhere. Video
Mhm.
marketing is not going anywhere. Thank you for putting one in the chat. I see y'all ones. It's not going anywhere. We got to be ready for video marketing. Number one, that's the new thing. That's a new way. And I look at video marketing, Kayla, like we don't have the big bucks like Nike and all these big name companies, Coca-Cola. But what we do, we have our reels, we have our TikTok. That's our commercial. That's our way of using the power of video marketing to get the people out there. Video marketing, when it comes to a buying decision, according to Forbes, 60% of people says, "Hey, I make a decision based on the video that I see." And so
Mhm.
it's really, really important to understand that video marketing must not maybe, but must be part of your tools when it comes to growing your business.
Yes, and I think that's the step I was missing. I post consistently. I shared the information, all the different products and services that I offer, but my main focus that I wanted to get out to my community is how to make sure your business is structured properly so you're not running in circles. And
Hmm.
I was posting and posting and posting, but I wasn't getting the clientele that I needed.
Yeah.
And not until seen your video marketing that I was like, oh my goodness, I want to be like that. I want to have enough confidence to just do it and share. There's so many people sharing, but the information isn't accurate. So I
Mhm.
needed the tools and the steps to get to where you are and how you became successful in life insurance and things like that. So that's I wanted you to come on today so you could share this with everyone.
So I wanted to kind of see from your audience, give me a three in the chat for everyone who's listening. Give me a three in the chat if you're currently using some form of video marketing, where it's short form video, long form video, whether it's a reel, a TikTok, you're going live. Give me a 3 in the chat right now if you're using some form of video marketing. I want to see who we're talking to tonight so we can understand that they could be using it as well. And I want to kind of share some, while you guys are putting a 3 in the chat, and I see a lot of 3s coming in, I want to kind of share some thought with you that Forbes have spoke about when it comes to video marketing. And because I don't want you to get your answer from me. I want you to get your answer. I'm going to be reading off my screen about what Forbes has said about video marketing. And so you can kind of get an idea of what it says. I'm going to my left because I'm having 2 screens. But it says marketing via video is the biggest way to reach people today. So first of all, we know we can use ads. I see those 3s. Okay, thank you. I see here. I saw your 3. Karma, I see your 3. I got it. Singleton, I saw your 3. Exciting boss sis. I love it. So marketing via video is biggest way to reach your people. And that's what Forbes says. More than 500 million hours of videos are watched on YouTube each day versus over 500 million users are watching video every day on Facebook. Billion. So we have 500 million hours, but we have billion on Facebook. 90, and I apologize for my quote. Let me say it again. 90% are you looking to buy a product or services, find that video is the most important way of making a buying decision. Most video content is uploaded in 30 days. I'm sorry, more video content is uploaded in 30 days than the major US television network have created in 30 years.
Jesus.
30 years. So these are not, don't take my word for it. Viewers retain, here's another important thing. Viewers retain 95% of a message when it's watched in video compared to 10% when it's in a text. So if you're a copyright, I love you, or if you're blogging, video is taking over from the blogs. So this is so it's fair to say that video marketing must be part of our brand. So that was some facts from Forbes that I was reading, and it is a wow moment for me too. Thank you for saying that. So that's from Forbes, and there's some data, some facts right there to tell you how the power of adding video to your existing small business, it is so important. No matter what, if you're e-commerce business, if you're a service-based business, you and I are in the financial space business, no matter where it is, video marketing is here to stay. So I just wanted to share those facts with you.
Thank you, Sherry. I had a question. Hopefully nobody takes offense. So I see a lot of people marketing, right? And what I notice is that like some people marketing and they don't have they know some things. They don't have all the tools, all the knowledge, but their marketing is the bomb. And like they really suck, but they get all the clients. And it's because they're being consistent all the time. They're showing people, like I'm in primarily do taxes. They're in the tax industry. They show people, hey, this is how I got these numbers. This is how I do a tax return. They show people their lifestyle photos. And I think it's awesome. Like I really do. And I know people who are really good, very technical people who are CPAs, accountants, and they don't get clients. And I'm like, wow. It has to be the videos.
Well, let me say this. Can I want to make sure that you're done, so I don't cut you off.
No, I'm done. I'm asking a question. Like I'm making a statement and a question. I'm like, it has to be that disconnect.
Well, here's the word, the disconnect, and I know we just jumped in and gave y'all some facts about video, but I wanted to make sure that you understand how important video is. But as a mom, and when I started in this space, as I said, I came from the sheriff's office where I was working as a corporal. And during that time when I was working as a corporate, I was helping ex-offenders start their businesses while they're in jail. So, but when I was doing that, I was helping them learn lease option and how to, do lawn services. So when they get out, they can become taxpayers. But when was the last time you asked someone that paint your house, do they have a record, right? We don't do that. But that situation got the attention of our President Barack Obama in 2016, and landed me in the White House because I was because of what I was doing. We have something called the reentry program. That's how that reentry program was started that we have in America. I said that to say this because once I was able to go global, some of you guys, God called you for global. He didn't call you for local.
Amen.
I was able to go global with that movement. Right after that, I went through a divorce. So when I went through a divorce. Credit score went to 430, and I went into an apartment, 600 square footage apartment. I want to share my story with you because when people decide to put themselves out there at 430 credit score, living in a two-bedroom apartment with my son. Now he's sick at school, got a call at school that he's unresponsive, not breathing. I got to come to the school. That ends my law enforcement career because my son now need my attention. It ended my career, but I still have to make money. So I had to quit my $42,000 job to start what I now have as my master financial life coach, which deals with helping women build their credibility, community, and cash flow. I'm telling you that story because when I hit that rock bottom, I needed a way for people to learn more about me and about my business. Well, one of the ways is I was using life insurance to recover. I was using my IUL to recover from the debt that I was in. So I had liquidated some stuff that I had to pay off all these debt that I was in. I'm not ashamed of my testimony of where God brought me from. And when I did that, I started sharing my story that I just told you guys. I started sharing it on Facebook. It's free, right? I was using my iPhone 6 and I was going live and I was sharing my story about how I was getting out of debt. So the difference between what you just said versus right now is there are people who have the courage, keyword, to tell their story about why they're in business, right? I didn't just wake up and say, I want to be a financial professional. I told my story because I've been through that storm which got me to where I am today. And I started telling my story and I started building my tribe. And as I built my tribe, which is what we teach inside of Joyful Tribe, as I build my tribe using the iPhone 6, going live and telling my story, being authentic, finding the courage to be authentic and saying, hey, this is how I'm getting out of debt. And if this is something that you need help with, I can show you. What happened is we got some amazing people, our best kept secret, who are very good, but they're afraid to tell their story because they have not built up the courage. Who's afraid to say, hey, I'm a divorcee. I came from 430 credit score. I left my job. I mean, all of the stuff that I've been through. There are people who are afraid to do that. They have not built that courage up. So it has nothing to do with who's smarter than the other. Just one person has courage and the other person is still struggling in that area.
Thank you so much. I know I asked a lot at one time. I appreciate it. And I don't know. I don't think I ever told you. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
I didn't know that. Wow, look at that. I did not know that. I do too. Yes, I do.
I have a bachelor's in criminal justice. And that's kind of how I started in the entrepreneur realm, is because my credit score was 424 and I didn't know how to build credit. And I was working at a bank, and I was seeing, people that didn't look like me. And I'm like, how come they're able to get the cars and loans and stuff? Like, what do I need to do? So that's how I actually taught myself credit in order to get into the entrepreneur space. But like I said, I didn't have the confidence and, to go tell my story, because so much, especially in the Black community, they tell you, don't tell people your business and this and that and the other. And that was embedded in me, so it was kind of hard for me to say, hey, I have this. Hey, I have lupus. Hey, I work a full-time job and I'm a single parent. So I think that's a lot of things that stop me. So it's probably stopping other people too, to come out and step out on faith.
That's good. That's good. And I thank you for sharing your story as well, because I think when we share our story, we become relatable.
Yes.
Because sometimes people think, oh, look at her. Oh, she already hit her 6 figures. She almost at her million. They feel like that disconnect. But when I share my true story about Queen, baby, listen, don't let this fool you. When you share your story, I remember, and if with your permission, I can kind of talk about how I did here. I remember I was doing a masterclass. Listen, if you haven't already, tag your business bestie, Grab your Diva Dope notebook and your King notebook if you haven't already did that, because we about to drop some gems on y'all, right? And if you're liking what you're hearing already, give us a high five in the chat. I want to make sure that we're talking to you. And I want to learn of your audience. If it's with your permission, I want to find out who they are. So if you can drop in the chat what you do so I can get to know you a little bit better. I want to make sure I'm speaking to your audience. So in the chat, tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. Just in case somebody's looking for you, we can find out more. But tag that business bestie that need to be on this live right now so they can hear what we're talking about. Make sure that you drop in the chat who you are. Thank you for the high five. Thank you so much for the high five. And you can highlight some of the people that are dropping that high five. But I wanted to kind of say to you, like, everyone wants, we have to be able to tell our story, because your story is what separates that person who's doing exactly what you're doing. That's your business proposition. That's your unique selling proposition. They can copy your logo. They can copy the way you talk. They can copy certain things about you, but your story is something they cannot copy. Thank you, Kayla. That's your story is something that they cannot copy. So if you're not sharing your story is what make you stand out. You're in Joyful Tribe with all the ladies are inside of our group, inside our coaching program. But for the ones who are not in there, I'm kind of sharing this with you I'm kind of sharing some things that we talk about. I have some holistic yoga, meditation. I love that. Okay, I love that. I love what I'm seeing. And I want to share this story with you is because when you're in this space, if you want to know how to stand out, how to be different from the next person that's doing your business, is telling your story. Last week, we talked about who's your niche audience, like who's your target market. You hear that a lot. And I tell people all the time, your target market of who you serve is who you used to be. Who you used to be. Oh my gosh, who you used to be. So that means you're talking to the person who you used to be. That is your target audience. You're equipped to be able to train and help that person with your small business. So if you ever want, I don't know who I should niche down to. There's a lady, she said, Cher, I was in the military, I was divorced. I said, that is who your target audience is, who you used to be. Right? So knowing that that's who you used to be, knowing that that's who you used to be, that's who you're called to serve. Those are the people that God have assigned to you. And the only way that these people will recognize that they are assigned to you and assigned to your gift is by you telling the story to be humanized and is to humanize your brand by telling your story. So I really wanted to share that. She said, if you ain't telling the truth, I love it. Love it. I love your audience.
Be on your preaching. That's because most of my audience is who I used to be.
I love it. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
And let me give you a shout out to Kayla.
Thank you.
So y'all, Kayla is kind of act all quiet, but Kayla was on one of my master classes. I did a free master class. I don't remember which one, but I did a free master class, and Kayla was at work sneaking on the job, trying to get the gems for the masterclass. Somebody else I think said they're at work right now. And Kayla was like, and let me tell you what we did with Kayla. Kayla was bold and courageous. They said when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. And because let me tell y'all something, greatness is not built in isolation. So if you're isolating yourself, greatness cannot come out. So make sure you hashtag that. Greatness is not built in isolation. And the reason I'm saying that is because we're in this masterclass, never met Kayla a day in my life, right? And Kayla started talking to me, and she started talking about her business, and she's on this job, and she's ready to leave. And I remember telling her, and do I have permission to tell your audience?
That's how you got me, because you kept it real. I'm people keeping it 100, so I was like, dang, she done cussed me out without cussing me out.
She said, cuss her out. So Kayla was very good, very smart. That was not an issue. She already knew her stuff. Kayla already knew her stuff. That was not an issue. She was making revenue, but she wanted to leave her 9 to 5. But the issue Kayla had, because you say who you used to be, the issue Kayla had is her target market could not pay her the money necessary to be able to leave her 9 to 5. So because Kayla wanted to help the community. So, and that's some, listen, and some of y'all like who Kayla used to be. Like, she wanted to help her community. And the fact the community, her target audience, could not pay her the revenue necessary to create cash flow so she can fund her future, right? So we all have good intentions. I get people all the time. This community, they need to know about insurance. They need to know about taxes. They need to know about all this stuff. However, and you can take that. Okay, good. You got that. But however, and we can go ahead so they can see everything and hear everything right now. I can take them off the screen. But the challenge that is that your audience is incorrect. So sometimes you're talking to a broke audience. So if you I'm keeping it real. Sometimes you're talking to a broke audience. So what that means is that you are, because we're such givers and because we care about people so much, the people you're called to serve has to be able to afford your price. Because you have to be able to make a profit to fund your business and fund your future. Our ladies inside the Joyful Tribe, a part of their membership goes back to a school in Jamaica that I take care of, my philanthropy school in Jamaica. And Kayla know all of this, right? Kayla know all of this. Then that same money we use to create conferences. We have a conference in Orlando that's coming up right now. So all of that would not be possible if I didn't have a profitable business. So some of us, we want to help our community, but you're with a broke audience. So you got to shift your audience so you be able to create cash flow. Now, Sherry, what do I do about this? One suggestion I gave Kayla, and I will give your audience here. She said, thank you very much for this live. You're so welcome, boo. You're so welcome. Tag somebody need to be here today. Thank you. So what I tell people, I said, listen, you can do once a quarter, which is what I do. I go live inside of my Facebook group, just like Kayla is doing right now, giving free gems all the time, every Monday at 7 p.m., just like she have it here on Thursday at 7. So there are free things you can do that you can give back to your community, but your price should not be one of them. Your price should not be one of them. So in your marketing, going back to confidence on camera for cash flow and making sales, in your marketing, you really have to shift the conversation that you're having on your videos to make sure you're targeting the right people. So that was one of the issues Kayla had. And I think as soon as she got it, and she said, hey, I want to serve small businesses using my framework that are making under 500,000?
Yes.
Under 500,000. Then her business changed. Then her 100K business literally changed. So we're looking at a woman that came on a masterclass that says that she's thinking about leaving her job, but she doesn't know what she was going to do. And she had the courage to implement and following the strategy. And I'm just so proud of her because she's never going to say for herself. So I'm going to say she's a living witness. She's a living example that when you're ready for change, you will show up and do the work. So I want to say that she shift her audience, shift her target market, because we all see, even in insurance, I hear it all the time. Oh, I want to help people in insurance and I want to help people in my community. Well, that's where also the chargeback, and now have the money to pay you your fees or whatever it may be. So now the money's back on you. So it's so important that you find your 5-star client. It's so important that you find your 5-star client that they must be able to afford your price, and you use your philanthropy work to give back to your community. That's so important. I wanted to share that with you, and kudos to you as well.
Thank you, Sherry. So your price is your price. Don't go down. Your price is your price, especially if you're providing value. And thank you. I want to give it back to you for letting me know that. A lot of times I'm like, oh, well, I'll see what I can do. And no, your price is your price. And people going to purchase what they want to purchase. They go buy J's, no problem. They go buy this with no problem. So especially as I feel as business owners, we shouldn't have to negotiate when we're providing a service. So that's awesome. And thank you for giving, everyone in the community those tips as well, because it is very much needed. And can't nobody give it like you. I do Kayla gonna give you the XYZ, but you gotta, you put your Sherry swag on it. So
I love it. But I wanted to just kind of, and I appreciate that. I wanted to kind of just share that because we have a lot of people in the audience. And when we say your price is your price, That is correct. But I think what mess with us mentally is because we want to help our community. We want to help her. There's a lady, she was a doula. And when she was helping moms deliver their baby at home, but her price range was so low because she said her community could not afford a doula. So what I said to her, I said, well, you want to take your son to Disney, but your business is not allowing your son to go to Disney because you're putting your community in front of your child. You know what I'm saying? And that was hard for her to take. That was so hard. Like, on one hand, she want to help her community, and another hand, she want to be profitable. It don't go together. So, because if you want to be profitable, you have to go after the people who can afford your price. You have to attract, not chase, but attract your ideal client that can afford your price. Because when you start making, if your business is not profitable, you're doing a disservice to you and your family and your business for it not to be profitable, because that profitability gives you the freedom to invest in philanthropy, to push your business, because your business is your ministry. So when I say push your business, I really mean your ministry. I tell my clients inside of my tribe, don't chase a commission, chase a mission. So in this case, your business is your ministry. So you want to be able to push your business forward, but you can't push it forward if it's not profitable. So you got to really identify the people who can afford your price. And then you got to use the power of video marketing to talk to those people at that level, because a person who wants to work with you, a person who is in an urgency to get out of their situation that they're in, that situation that's nagging them, and they're worried about the IRS coming after them because they don't pay their taxes. They're worried about, can they have a peace of mind if they die tomorrow with the insurance. They're worried about whatever expertise that you solve, whatever that problem is. They'll be ready. Your ideal client will be ready for you. So don't go down for them, go up. And if anything, those people who can't afford you today will be able to afford you tomorrow.
Now you on here preaching. So you done started a whole nother that's a whole nother subject. Oh my goodness. But I like how you tied that back into, like you said, targeting the marketing and the videos.
Mhm.
But yeah, and what I'm talking about when I say a whole nother subject, when you hit me with the stop chasing and attract, the
Mhm.
light bulb went off again. Even though I know it is because that's something you've taught, myself and your other mentees in Joyful Tribe. That's a huge thing for a lot of, especially people that are on my team and other business owners that are connected to me, because they don't understand how am I not able to get these clients? How are you able to get these clients? How are other people able to get these clients? And I'm like, because you're chasing these clients.
Correct.
If they were doing, like you stated, the video marketing, having the 7 touches,
Mhm.
they will come to them. And
Yes.
it's like so hard to try to get that out to people, because they're trying to figure out, why not me? Why not me? And side note, my price is my price. The price is my price. So I started a nonprofit organization. So that's how I'm going to help my community.
I
So
love.
my price is my price.
Can I also say this too, Kayla? And I love, because it's your space. I always like to ask permission before I
Yeah.
say this. Um, for you to, if you want to attract 5-star clients, clients that pay you on time, clients that pay you in full. How many of y'all want that? Give me a 2 in the chat if that's something that you want. Clients that will pay you on time, that will refer you to other people. Clients you ain't gotta chase them down with an invoice. They're not ghosting you. If you want, those are the clients I call 5-star clients. They know the value that you produce. Them 2s are coming in. I see it. I see it. Them 2s are coming in. I see it. If you want those clients that they're not going to question you, they know what you bring to the table, they know your value, they're going to pay you on time, they're going to pay you in full. One of the things, because I hear people say, Sherry, they get to my call and they say my price is too expensive. They get to my call and they say that they can't afford me. And I had that before. And there are 2 things I want to say when that happened, which goes back to our video marketing again. When I look at the client's video that they're putting out, usually the messaging in the video attract those broke clients to them, right? So that, let's be clear. So the conversation, the energy that you put out in the atmosphere, whether it's online, offline, at a gas station, on a plane, whatever it may be, the energy that you put out in your every word out of your mouth is a prayer.
Yes.
Is a prayer. So the energy that you put out in what you're saying, whether it's a negative energy, and we talk about this all the time, we don't need a whole class on this. So therefore, you're wondering why you're attracting these clients. You really got to go back to your marketing, video marketing again, and say, what are you saying? Are you always saying broke? Are you always negative on social media? Are you negative person? And then you're wondering when this person show up to your phone call for your closing in a conversation, a consultant, they can't afford you. So you really got to check, making sure your messaging is matching your 5-star client. That's number one. That's the first thing. Number two, I always say, in order for you to get 5-star clients, and everyone that put 2 in the chat, you yourself have to become a 5-star client. Woo! Jesus, you're ready for this one, right? So you yourself, and Kayla know I teach this a lot inside of our program. You yourself have to become what you want to have. So if you want 5-star client, because there's a difference between, like, for example, whenever I go to a conference, I'm hosting a conference right now, and when I'm going to go to a conference, the first thing I look for, I don't look for general admission. I look for the VIP. And we talk about this a lot. I look for the VIP price because I know the people who are in VIP at a conference or at an event, our conversations are different. Mm-hmm. Our conversations are different. So even before I hit my first six figures, I was always looking for the VIP price. If I can't make it that time, that's fine. At least I'm in the house. But I always make sure I position myself to become who I wanted to be way before passing my financial goal right now. Way before that. So I had to become who I'm seeking. So that is so important to understand. So I asked myself, and if you want to know what does that look like for you, what I say to myself, I'm giving y'all, I told y'all to grab your notebook.
Y'all better be getting it while y'all can get it, because this VIP right here. This VIP.
So I asked myself, I look at myself and I say, okay, self, what is my 5-year self? Who is she? What does she look like? How does she dress? How does she carry herself? Well, who does she talk to? Who's her friends? What does her daily schedule look like? You know, I'm big on that. Your daily schedule. What is her daily schedule? We have a book that we give you when you come in program called Daily Revenue Activity Book. Kayla has that book. And what is your daily schedule? So if you're at yourself, what does your 5-year self look like? What does she look like? What does she do? And the reason why you're asking that question is because you want to show up as her now or as him now. And I do this on stage a lot. And I might do it at Unleashing Your Inner CEO conference. I might do this because, and the reason why I'm saying that is, when you develop her now, when you develop him now, that 5-year self, when you become her now, what happened is you attract everybody else at that level. You attract that 5-star person. So if 5-star could be, I'm gonna make sure that when I'm traveling or I'm flying first class. That's so I can get there at a more convenient time. 5-star means I want to be in the room with women who make 6 and 7 figures, because I believe success leaves clues, right? Success leaves clues. These online streets are awesome, but in person, baby, it's magnificent. It's outstanding when you're in person, because that relationship is stronger and built stronger in person. So when we're talking about 5-star client, it's not just about speaking on it, it's becoming that person who you said, my 5-year self will be this. She's doing this. She's driving this. She's doing this. You become her now. I'm not telling you to go out and go get a house of your 5-year self. I'm saying the current house that you have now, how is it set up? Is it clean? Is it welcoming? When you look at what I did with my home, I started decorating my home like $1 million home. Right? I started decorating. I had to clean what God already gave me. Your car that you're driving, how are you taking care of that car? When you get in that car, the energy that you bring to that car, because everything has energy. So when you get in that car, are you going in there with gratitude? Are you saying, oh, let me just get into this car? So you have to really see the millionaire self in your existing thing now so you can become her later.
Amen. Thank you.
You
Thank
say, man.
you. Amen. Amen. But it's just really, like I said, I think it's really so a mindset and a disconnect. Even when I personally signed up for mentorship, I had my coaching call. They gave me the price. Okay, how do I pay it? what
Yes.
what what is it? And that's just me. And I know other people who are in a similar situation I might be in, not because they don't have the finances.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so the mindset would be like, oh no, you know I could do with this. But at the end of the day, from what I take from it, you're doing a disservice to yourself in the future
Correct.
because you're holding yourself back. Because if you would have just done it now, I wish I could have went back to when I was in my early 30s. I see people in my early 30s doing things that I'm doing now at 40 something years old. I'm like, you guys don't know. You you're in a great place, because time doesn't wait for anyone. But it's just really getting out your own way and stepping out on faith and doing it, because everybody is just looking at their bank account. Does my bank account a lot for this? And it in their head it doesn't, but it's never gonna grow. It's never
Oh,
gonna.
I love that, Kayla. I love what you just said because it came back to what we had a conversation in class yesterday, and we had a conversation in class yesterday, and the conversation was when people say, "But Sherry, I need money now. I need money now. I need." It sounds all good. I love what you're saying, but I need to get money now, and they're in this urgency of getting money now, desperation, I would say, of getting money now. And my answer to them who says that all the time, like, listen, I just need money. I hear what you're saying. It sounds good, but I just need money now. I know I need to market. I know I need to use video more. I know I need to build my confidence. And we're going to give you my 5 steps and do that. Don't think you're not going to get more tips on that. I'm going to share that with you. And if you're learning something new that you've never heard before, if you had an aha moment since you've been here, give us another high five in the chat. We just want to make sure that we respect your time and we're grateful for you being here. So give us another high five in the chat just to make sure that you are enjoying the things that you're hearing and that we're speaking to your soul. We want to make sure that you came here and got value so far. So with that being said, when people are so urgent to say, I need money now, one of the things that I said to them, I said, the issue that you're having, when you're saying, I need money now, you make money from you 2 things, your energy and your value. That's the only 2 things you make money from, your energy and your value. But those energy and those value are driven by your thoughts, right? So those energy, because if you don't feel like it, you ain't got to do the thing today. You ain't got to show up live. You're not going to do it. Thank you, Charlene, for the high five. Thank you, Rosalind, for the high five. I appreciate that. So thank you, Natasha. I see your high five out there. So one of the things I'm big on is saying to myself, when we were planning this conference that we have in Orlando coming up, when I was planning this conference, and tell me if this is you, because this was me. I would just share this with my tribe last night. I'm sharing it with you. When God says something to you and said, you're in the shower, because that's when he talked to me. I don't know about you, but that's when he talked to me. I'm in the shower because I'm still and not distracted. God will give me an idea, a whisper, an idea to birth something. He'll give me an idea and said, hey, you should do a masterclass, or hey, you should do a conference. So when he gave me the idea to do Unleash Your Inner CEO in Orlando, I was like, okay, God, I hear you. And I get excited because I wanted the women who are in the spirit of learning how to build their credibility, community, and cash flow without sacrificing their family time. So I said, okay, God, I got you. I hear you. I'm gonna do a boutique conference in Orlando. Kayla, I kid you not. This is what happened to everybody. God give you an idea, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do that masterclass. I'm going to do that conference. I'm going to write that book, whatever that thing that God called you to do. But right after that, Kayla, it's, oh my goodness, that sounds so exciting. Right after that, you're like, oh, I have to do a website. I have to do a sales page. I have to do a marketing. Put me in the chat if you can relate to what I'm saying. Oh, I have to do a marketing. Oh my goodness. When am I gonna have time to all that? How do I have to do a funnel? I have to do pictures. I have to get graphics. Like, oh my gosh, it sounded exciting in the beginning when God I'm here to high five. Like, forget that. It's me, Sherry. You're talking to me. So he give you an idea. And as soon as he give you the idea to make money, you say these are other deliverables, your website, your graphics, your image, all of this stuff. You're like, man, forget it. You immediately go through all the work that you realize all the work that it comes with, and you're like, forget it. Thank you. She said, doing it now. So yeah, I love it. I love y'all talking back to me. Put me in the chat if you can relate to what I'm saying. Soon as you get the idea, the download from God about something to do in your business, in your small business, the next thing is, it sounds so great. You get excited, and just as soon as you come out the shower, you're like, wait, hold up, I need a website. Hold up, I need graphics. Hold up, I need to pay. Oh my God. And you start freaking out. Because you're looking at your current results to say you cannot bring it to life. You cannot manifest it. You can't see it. So first you were saying, oh, it sounds great. But then when you hear all the different moving parts of it, you're like, I can't do it. So what I do, and I teach Kayla and everybody in our Joyful Tribe this, you have to go to a place in your thoughts that you create what I call high value thinking. High value thinking. High value thinking is when you become who you say you want to become in that 5 years, right? You become her now. So I never go to my current results, current state to make any decision for me. So when I decided to have this conference, yes, I had to figure out a place, a staging, all the stuff, all the moving parts. Instead, I went to, okay, God, you gave me a vision. Now I want to go to my results, not my current situation. My result is lives are getting ready to change with this conference. My result is generation curses are going to be broken. My result is people are going to be trailblazers. They cannot come to the conference the same way they came, the way they came. They have to be changed. So I started going to the results of the thing of what he has downloaded into me instead of going to my current situation. So I never allow my current situation to dictate what my things I'm supposed to get done. So as soon as God says, hey, Kayla, you need to do a masterclass, instead of saying, oh my God, I don't have all the things to do the masterclass, stay at the highest level. Go to your thoughts first and say, wait, if I do this masterclass, lives are going to be changed. People are going to be more educated. More clients are going to come. You're going to stay in that high state and think about that result more than relying on the resources. Because I truly believe that if God give it to you, he going to also give you the resources. Because I shared with you yesterday when I was trying to find a stage, rent a stage. And I kid you not, that was one of the last piece of planning the conference for July. And what happened? I'm driving with my son to school, and I kid you not, Kayla, right in front of me, the guy who rents stages was right in front of me. I called him up, and he said, oh my goodness, we'll take care of the staging for your conference for you. So if I had to worry about all the different moving parts of the conference, I would have just said, I'm not going to do it. So I want to share that with you because you never allow your current results to guide you. You must always allow your thoughts, which is your high value thinking, your higher self to be your guide. So as soon as God gives you a download into writing that book or giving that direction, a strategy, you stay your high value thought and the results of what that thing is going to produce. Don't ever go look to your bank account. Don't ever look to your resources because that will freak you out and say you don't want to do it. I just want to share that with you. She said, preach, queen. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That is so true.
So really quick, I promised you guys I was going to share with you. So I'm looking over here. Here, I want to show you 3 secrets I'm going to teach you to overcome your fear on camera. So I want to share it and on camera techniques. If you have your notebook and you can write this down, go ahead and put go ahead and give me a 4 in the chat, so I can give you these techniques right now. Fear of overcoming. I'm going to teach you 3 things. The first one is overcoming fear of the camera. Second one is camera techniques and strong call to action. So number one, give me a 3 in the chat. I'm sorry, 4 in the chat so I can start. Let me see. Okay, I got 4. Got it. Overcoming fear of camera. Put a me in the chat if you just hate camera. If put a me.
There's a couple of people on this live I know hate camera, so it better be a whole bunch of us.
But Kayla, you told them, you revealed to them that you didn't like the camera either when you first started. You know, that go back to the courage thing again, right? Okay, so one of the things I want to share with you, overcoming fear of a camera. Fear of showing up on video, the fear of showing up on video. Whenever I come on video, I never think it's about me. I think it's about the people who I used to be, right? Remember, we just talked about that. So when we're talking about your camera, we're talking about the people who you used to be. So overcoming the fear of camera, you have to understand that you're not, your fear is going to paralyze your thoughts. That's literally what it will do. It's paralyzing you, but it's also stopping your money too, because that fear is also stopping your money. But it's good. But you're not alone. There's so many people who have that same fear you have. So you're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. There's some people just afraid of the camera, but it's paralyzing your thoughts. So the good news is you're not alone. Sharing your message is meaningful because there's so many people that need to hear your message. There's so many people that need to hear your story of Kayla and I hitting our 400 credit score. They need to know that and having her health issues and me having my divorce. There's so many people need to show you. You need to be the light and the example. So it's super important to let you understand that sharing your message is meaningful. It tells you that you're doing something good and that you care and you matter to people. So I want to share that to you. So it's so important that you share your message, your meaningful message. When I also speak, I feel like I'm reaching one person at a time. So just think about that one person. When you get on that camera, you think about that one person that you're called to reach, not 10, not 20, one person. And one thing I learned, I think Kayla has learned it. And number 4, the more you go live, you build your video muscles. I call it video muscles. So it's because it was like not comfortable for Kayla. And here she is every week now. Now here she is every week now showing up.
It's like 8 months to go live.
So you have to go through a little discomfort to build your video muscles. She said 8 months it took her to go live. So I wanted to kind of overcoming your fear means sharing a meaningful message, because if you don't, there's some people that a call that is assigned to your purpose. And if you don't step out, believe it or not, the people who you used to be. If you're on chapter 34 of your life, those people are on chapter 33 and chapter 1. That's who you're called to serve. So you have to step out, encourage them with your message, because everybody in a small business has a mission and they have a vision. And your mission, your vision is all around your story of how you got in that business, right? And how I use an iPhone 6 to make my first 6 figures. Everyone has some type of story. So it's important that you share that story with that person who you're called to share. So that's the one step of overcoming your fear. Make it fast to respect your time. Another thing I like to share is on-camera techniques. There's some things that I like to do is called on-camera techniques. The first thing you want to do, if you're still having some issues with the camera, use a flashcard. Use a flashcard, maybe a small flashcard. I have a flashcard right here. Use something like this and start listing out your points. Listen out your ideas, your points, your topics that you're going to be talking about. Use that flashcard to keep you on track. Now, I've been doing it a while. I've been on 27 states just in 2022 alone. So I've been doing it a while for a long time. So it's easy for me to talk without a flashcards because I've been doing it for so long, whether I'm offline or online or on stage or off stage. But when you're first starting out, use the power of a flashcard. There's nothing wrong with using a flashcard, and start listing out your topics. That there are 4 points that you want to go over. Like me, I just told you I have 3 secrets I want to share with you, and I'm on number 2 on camera techniques. So don't be afraid to use a flashcard. Another thing too is shoot your video. If you're doing a video where you're doing a quick video and you're going to upload it to social media, turn the camera horizontal if you can. That's another VIP tip. Turn the camera horizontal, because when it goes on YouTube, it would look like a wider screen. So if you're going to upload it to YouTube, it would look like a wider screen. But if your idea and end goal is not to be on YouTube, is to do reels, then you can do it vertical. But you want to turn it horizontal to make sure that you're getting the best angle when you're going live. Another thing I want to share with you is taking up your headspace. Well, I can see how we're talking right now. There's some people that are talking, and then they're down here, and their heads, all people are looking is what's over there. Is your house clean? Is the background clean? So when you take up the headspace, you're standing with confidence. You're standing with confidence with knowing what you're saying. So you want to make sure you're taking up the headspace of the camera. Does that make sense? Put good in the chat so far if you are if this is good for you. So you want to make sure that you're literally taking up the headspace when you go live or when you're creating your video. Another VIP tip that I want to share is you want to make sure that you look through the camera lens. You want to make sure, thank you, Natasha. You want to make sure that you're looking through the camera lens and talking to the lens, because you're letting that person know that, hey, I'm talking to you today. I'm sharing my story with you. So you want to make sure that you're looking to the camera lens and you're not looking all over the place and so on and so forth. All right. So those are on-camera techniques. Number one, use a flashcard. Number two, if you're uploading to YouTube, make sure you turn it horizontal if you can. If you're just doing reels and you know that video is for reels and TikTok, then okay, that's fine. You can keep it vertical. But the reason why you like horizontal, because horizontal is also good in vertical if you're doing it for reals. So if you turn it, it's just perfect. You want to make sure you take it up the headspace, and you want to make sure you look into the camera lens. Kayla, what do you think about those so far?
I love it. I love it. I knew you were going to come with some good tips and tools. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, I need to make sure I know some stuff too. So I did a little research. I'm not the expert in this field. I teach people how to make 100K real fast. But I did do a little bit of research on this subject as well. And everything you said is definitely what I wrote down. You touched on the niche. You touched on being your authentic self. Everything was perfect. Only thing that I had written down, let me see, because I have my notes here as well.
I love how you have your notes. Yeah. While you have your notes, I want to bring up the last few, and then I have a 30 live stream ideas for them to go live on. I'm going to drop it to you.
Oh, okay. So, and also the only thing that wasn't stated was the platform. Just basically finding which platform that you probably would feel would work best for, depending on what type of product or service or business that you offer. We're actually seeing which one will work best for you in the long run. So not just sticking to one platform and dealing, just specifically Facebook or specifically Instagram or LinkedIn, but trying them all out and seeing, like, checking your stats to see where you get the most views at. And that way you know where to focus and, your target audience, where they're actually located.
Oh, I love that. So let me add something to what she just said. So what I want to make sure that I did add in here, because I have my notes as well. Strong call to action. That's secret number 3. Strong call to action. I cannot stand when somebody go live, do a video, and there's no, me, okay, how do you tell people you want to work with them? You gotta have
Kayla, where's your call to action? She will message you.
I didn't say anything, Kayla. You calling yourself out.
To action. Oh.
So yeah, you did a whole video, gave so much value, but you never tell the person where they can work with you. That was the whole purpose of the video. Kayla is calling herself out, y'all. So I have a strong call to action, I'm gonna give y'all some cheat sheet. Oh, another thing I want to add with the techniques, make sure you're using your hands, right? Down here is kind of like I'm talking in monotone, but up here gives you some hand energy. So you want to make sure you're talking with your hands, and so the person can kind of see your hands when you're talking. I meant to tell you that about the hand, because you can't fake energy. You cannot fake energy. So it's so important that you use your hand as a roadmap, as a guide. So if I say, give me a 4 in the chat, you're going to be like, put a 4. But if I say, like I said, give me a 4 in the chat, that's totally different, right? So you can't fake energy. So you want to make sure you're using your hand. But last part is strong call to action. So you want to say something like, if you like what you're hearing, do this, do X, Y, Z. DM me, drop the word whatever in the chat if you like what you're hearing right now. Like I have a giveaway for you guys who are here, and it's a 30 live stream ideas for your next live video. So if you put video in the chat, these are for Kayla people only.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you put video in the chat, we're going to give you a 30 live stream ideas that you can come up with. You can mix and match these ideas to go live. So put video in the chat. I'm sorry, put what did I say? Live. Put live in the chat, and we'll make sure that you have a copy of that, access to that. So now that's an example. Put live in the chat. Or is the video? What did I say? Thank you. Video. Put video in the chat, and we'll make sure you get it. So another call to action is comment the word blank, right? And we'll reach out to you. I just did that. I said comment the word video or live, doesn't matter. I will make sure that you get the link. Or you can tell them, go to my website. Now I'm going to be honest with you. When you're doing marketing, sometimes people are not ready to go to your website. So I like for them to go to your DM first, because they're like, I don't know who you are. I don't know how long you're gonna be. We ain't friends like that first. I need to see what you're working with first before I commit to you. Mm-hmm. So, and then the last thing you said, DM me and I will give you a private answer to your question, whatever you may have. So again, if you like what you're hearing, do a XYZ, comment the word blank, and we'll reach out to you. Go to my website or DM me a private question or whatever. Those are the examples of a call to action that you can use when you're doing video marketing. And when you're doing reels, you give a value. But once you give your value of sharing your expertise, you have to make sure you do a call to action. It drives me nuts when you give all this gem and you don't do a call to action. So whether, like, for example, I just say you comment the word video or comment the word live, and we'll make sure you get a copy of my 30 live stream ideas. Kayla will drop the link in here, and we'll make sure you get a copy. That is a call to action that I just did. Mm-hmm. That's a call to action. So you want to make sure that you do a strong call to action. So you got to know, and when you're doing that strong call to action after you give your video, then people may understand that you may be 2 people on your video. But when you go back, don't be like, oh, I'm gonna stop this video. I'm not giving no content. Baby, keep going. Keep going, because as soon as you keep going, your video compound and it builds your credibility. So if I had stopped doing videos because there are 2 people show up, I would not be where I am today. I would not be where I am today. So when you're doing your videos, you're not looking for likes, you're not looking for comments. It's actually a practice zone for your greatness. It's actually a practice zone for your greatness. So you want to make sure there are people still go to my YouTube videos, still go to so many old videos. So you never know who's watching. From those videos, like I was telling Kayla, I've been on a whole tour last year, on a private jet, whole tour, just from my video where somebody saw me and said, hey, I want you to come on tour with us. Right after my wedding in Jamaica, we went on tour. So you got to be there, understand that when you least expect it, somebody's always
watching.
Oh, you finished my sentence. Always watching. Somebody's always watching. And that's my tip for you, Kayla. Oh, you asked me about platform. Now, I'm going to be truly honest with y'all. I believe I'm a mom. I'm a wife, right? I'm a newlywed. So everybody's going to be different. But here's from a person who's doing it, who grew her entire business using videos. I always say, what is your capacity? When you're asking about, hey, what platform should I use and all this stuff, you got to ask yourself, what is your capacity? If you're a mother or if you're busy and your capacity is low, I always say pick 2 platforms, one main one that you know you're going to show up on, and that's it. I'm barely on LinkedIn. Today I went on TikTok for the first time in forever. Forgive me. But I'm always on Instagram and I'm always on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So no, you really don't have to be in all the platforms. You just have to figure out what is your time, because you just have to get clear on what is the platform that you want to be on, like what gives you the time. So if you know you have a 9 to 5, or if you know this is not your full-time gig, what is the platform that you're going to be committed to? So it's not about being on all the platforms. It's about being on few, 1 or 2, but be more committed. When you're clear on what you're doing, you're clear on what you're saying using the flashcards that I just suggest, when you're clear on that, because right now you're not consistent, but you're not consistent. And the reason why you're not consistent is because you're not confident. And the reason you're not confident is because you're not clear. So when you get clear, you get confident. When you get confident, you get consistent. So, oh, Jesus, all of that goes together. All of that, I thank y'all for love, but all of that go together. But I just want to kind of share that with you is I can tell you what platform to be on, but you're not going to do it if you're not clear. So what I'm explaining to you is look at your time schedule and tell me, are you committed to doing a video twice a week, one time a week? I'd rather have that conversation than have a conversation about being on 5 platforms where you're not even on one right now. That's what I want to say. That's it. That's all.
That's
and
all, folks.
That's all, folks. What questions do they have? They have questions before I
Let me see. I see one person had a question. I think she said she was in the behavioral health realm when it came to business. So how would she? I'm trying to see. I have to go back and look at the question. Give me 1 second.
That's fine. And while you're doing that, I'm going to see. I have link to get the third ideas. She's in. She said, "Thank you for organic information." Yes, I 100% believe that you should be doing organic. Not, I don't think you should be doing paid traffic right now. All organic. You have to learn how to captivate your audience. Mm-hmm. And if you're still here to ask a question, can you drop it in the chat so we can get it? What question do you have? She said, "Kayla, here it is." I think she said, "Here it is." It's a little different. She said it's a little different when dealing with service directly to the community, such as behavioral health care, state bill. Do you have a step for this? Okay, it's a little different when dealing with services direct to the community, such as.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Okay, go ahead. Keep explaining this because I have my own view. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't know the answer.
What was she saying? No, I'm saying what was she?
Oh, so basically,
what does she say?
She's like in behavioral health, like maybe has like a home health care or dealing with Medicaid or Medicare, something to that effect, where it's a service industry, like a physical building. So how would she obtain her 5-star client on social media when most of the people probably are coming through Medicaid or different other, agencies to get more to service her business and get customers. Now I'm thinking in my head it would be more so still you could still use the same tools and techniques. It'd be more so just a referral base. That's what I'm assuming from what I learned from my mentor. So I don't know.
Okay, so let me answer that. We have Medicare clients like Carrie. She's a Medicare maven, right? Mm-hmm. And we have Carrie. She does Medicare maven. I had clients before I niched down. I had clients who had home aid assistance. So let's be clear. Everybody and their mama is on Facebook. Everyone. Oh, everybody's on LinkedIn. That's a lie. Because that person, when she go home and take off them red bottoms, she's on Facebook. So my mother is 60-something years old and she's on Facebook. Baby, she know everything about going on Facebook. So your target market is on Facebook. So I want to share with you, sweetheart, that it's no different. Once you open your mouth and start educating the masses about what you do and telling them certain steps, I guarantee you that I want you to understand this. The people who are not your target market that you think on Facebook, they are what we call your ambassadors. They know somebody that is in your target market that they can say, oh, I was listening to Kayla Joshua and she was talking about this. You may need to contact her. Let me tag you on her social media. There's no more business card. Throw that business card in the trash, baby. There's no more business card. Every time you go somewhere and you say, hey, have you seen Kayla? What does people do? Bust out their Facebook timeline to see what you look like. Your Facebook timeline is now your business card. So to answer your question, the techniques is exactly the same. When you're giving value, I cannot tell you how many people who may not be my target audience, but they have referred somebody because they heard my value on social media. This is the exact same way. So no matter what industry, no matter what business you're in, if you're giving value about the legal legalities, things that have changed in your industry, the do's and don'ts of your industry, the pain points of what your challenges that are in your industry, I guarantee you, even if the person's listening that is not your target market, they're your ambassadors that when they run into somebody at a grocery store, they'll say, oh, you should follow this girl named Kayla. She's the one that's going to help you in your business because your business is under 500,000 a year. So I guarantee you that the strategy works for all business. Once you got value and you call yourself an expert in a space, baby, you just dominate that space. That's it.
I said period, but I was on mute.
Period. Period. I was still trying to find a link to drop in your. Do you do links in your group? I want to respect your group. Do you do links in there?
Typically I don't. You know what we can do though is you can send me the book and I can go back and see who all commented video or live. And I will have my assistant create a link so that way we'll be able to give them the link that way and do it.
Okay, yes, we'll just go in your DM and we'll DM it to him.
Yep,
easily.
Absolutely.
Easily.
I have some.
All right, I want to make sure we don't have any questions before we have up. Okay, good. I didn't see any.
Any more questions? Okay, I'm saying because you on fire. I tried to find that one question. There was 110 comments. I'm like, how can I find this question? I'm glad.
Yeah, because I hear this all the time where somebody says the only time we have hesitation in finances, like financial advisors, they're very big on you got to be careful what you say on camera because you're in a financial advisor business. I also hear people say, oh, my job, I don't want the people in my job to see. So they're putting, and I always tell people that, I was a cop and I was on live. So I don't allow my coworkers who are broke to tell me how I should live my life, especially if I'm called to do that. So I get that too a lot. I get people who are, they're afraid of what the coworkers are going to say if they do video creation. But I'm sharing with them that it's not your coworker you need to worry about. You're trying to be profitable. You're trying to build your credibility. You're trying to build your community and create cash flow. And you want to be a game changer for your family. So we don't have time to worry about how our coworkers are feeling because you have a free access to market your business for now. Because Facebook been tripping lately with all this meta and all this stuff. But you have free access to market your business and grow your email list. Why not take advantage of it? So
and that's so true. Not until I quit my job in October did I see my business grow.
And wow. Say that again.
Unconsciously. It could have been unconsciously because you're worried about what your coworkers have to say. You might have a supervisor on here, another coworker, and and it was to the point too. I could be a living witness to that. I would check my email. Are you working your business? No, I'm checking my email. So until you get out of your own way once again and get out of that mind space and say what is your why and why you're doing it, then it's not going to work. And as soon as I stopped caring and said I could do what I want to because I'm my own boss, then that's when I started to see the six figures.
Wow.
I had a cousin, she was on this live. I don't know if Tiara's still on this live. When she first joined the tax industry, that's why I'm coaching now. She was, I don't know if I want to do this. It's going to take a month and a half to get paid because like you said, people are looking for the instant gratification. But she was one of my mentees and she makes well over six figures. This is the second year in a row. But she had to get out of her own way. She started going live. She started doing what she had to do, but we let other people and other things get in front of our why and our family and what we want for ourselves.
I love it. I'm so glad that that's a story that we need to be hearing a lot. I appreciate. Let me just say, I thank you, Kayla, for spending time with me. Thank you for inviting me to your tribe. Your tribe is hype, baby. I love it. I love your tribe is hype. I'm super excited that for the opportunity to speak to your tribe. And are you going to be at the conference? Are you because you have another event? No. Oh.
I'm already mad, okay? Because I'm supposed to be on that flyer. I'm supposed to be on that flyer.
I know.
I'm going to be out of the country, but actually, how did you say it? I'm getting to the Kayla I want to see myself. So I'm going to go get something done.
Yes.
Not any work or anything like that, but I'm going to just do something to better myself. So I'll be out of the country and I won't get back until the conference is over. Because, like you said, if you want to be that person, you have to look like that person. So I
Yes.
need to make sure I'm putting myself in place to be there. But I will be in Jamaica next year and I will be at all the other conferences.
I love it. I love
And
it.
I just want to thank you too for coming because you could have been anywhere tonight, and you didn't have to do it. And I really, really appreciate you being here and sharing all of these tips and tools with anyone. So if anyone is actually interested in mentorship pertaining to learning the things that Ms. Sherry Summer said today, as far as changing your mindset, things of that nature, then I will definitely give you the information to share so you can reach Sherry. Then, if you're looking for mentorship as well from me in the financial services industry, you want to know, hey, I want to learn how to make 100K in 90 days. What do I need to do? How can I make sure my business is structured properly? I am offering mentorship as well. And so, as you see, I learn from the best.
I
With
love
my
it.
brains and Sherry, you can't lose. You
I
can't lose.
love it. I saw someone ask about, so I want to go ahead and address that. She said, where and when is the conference? So Unleash Your Inner CEO is in Orlando, Florida, July 15th. And it's beautiful Orlando, I call it sunny Orlando, Florida. July 15th is for service-based business owners, insurance agents, and financial pros. And we have some dynamite speakers that's going to be coming. So your group is welcome. Just go to unleashyourinnerceo.com, unleashyourinnerceo.com. And we're excited to have, it's 2 days. Oh my God, I don't want to give all the secrets away, but we have some amazing speakers and we have a VIP day that we're working on. And what I mean by unleashing your inner CEO is kind of like what we talk about. I have experts that are coming in that are going to be focused on different things because as a CEO, what you do, like what you eat on a daily basis, affect how productive you are. Are you a procrastinator? Are you working with money triggers? Are you working with limited belief system? All of those things are what we're addressing. We're teaching you how to use Chat GTP to save your time and energy. But the most important thing is, I think what the conference is about is learning how to build your credibility, cash flow, and your confidence and your community without sacrificing your family time. That's what we're big and we're known for, is being able to build your credibility, community, and cash flow without sacrificing your family time. So yes, it is in Orlando, Florida, July 15th. Unleash your inner CEO. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share that.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. And like I said, thank you again for having us as a community. And I will definitely follow up with you to get that link because I want to make sure they do get those tips, and I'll have that sent out to them as what they say expeditiously. So
Expeditiously.
yeah, I got it coming. All right. Well, thank you, Sherry, and thank you all for tuning in tonight. All right, I'll see you guys next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel.
Good night.
Good night.